Today, we've got a big update on something a lot of people have been waiting for. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders. Yep, after weeks of delays, speculation, and honestly, a bit of confusion, it looks like we finally have some solid movement on when you'll actually be able to lock one down. So grab your Joy-Cons, sit back, and let's break down everything that's been happening. This is about tariffs, leaked dates, insider info, GameStop rumors. Oh yeah, it's spicy. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's rewind for a second. Originally, Switch 2 pre-orders were supposed to kick off around April 7th. That was the date floating around all over Twitter, Reddit, you name it. But then, nothing happened. And the big reason behind that? Tariffs. Yeah, not exactly the sexiest topic, but it was the major wrench in the works here. Basically, there was an ongoing tariff issue between the US and imports from countries like China, which was going to make it way more expensive for companies like Nintendo to bring in hardware. So what did Nintendo do? Smart move, actually. They shifted most of their US-bound production over to Vietnam, dodging a lot of those China-based tariffs. But then bam, new tariffs hit Vietnam too. So again, delays. Now, I'm not an economist or anything, but I've been following this closely, and it seems like things have finally calmed down a bit. There's a 90-day grace period now where tariffs are paused, which is giving Nintendo a window to start shipping units without getting wrecked by import taxes. So here's the big question. When can we actually pre-order this thing? Well, this is where it gets interesting. Recently, a very reliable leaker, who has a track record of nailing these kinds of dates, posted that Canadian retailers are preparing for pre-orders to open on April 23rd. Now, before you go, wait. That's Canada. Hold up. Because here's the thing. When it comes to big launches like this, Canada often mirrors the US. In fact, the original delays were based on what was happening with US tariffs. So if Canada's good to go on April 23rd, odds are the US will be right there with them. And just for context, that's 1 week after the big Mario Kart World Championship presentation. So it would make total sense if Nintendo drops some kind of pre-order now message right at the end of that broadcast. It'd be a perfect hype moment. Now here's something funny. Wario64, absolute legend when it comes to gaming deals and leaks, noticed that Target had updated their internal system with an April 30th date for Switch 2. Of course, that got people freaking out like, OMG, that's the new date. But folks, come on, that's clearly a placeholder. Retailers do this all the time. Some people still think Metroid Prime 4 is dropping December 31st, 2024, because that's what stores have up. Come on, that's like saying your pizza delivery will arrive by midnight and assuming that's the real ETA. So yeah, April 23rd seems much more realistic. Keep that one circled. Alright, so let's say April 23rd is the real deal. You're hyped. You're ready. But here's the million-coin question. How hard is it going to be to actually get your hands on a Switch 2? Well, here's the tea. The Twitter account @NintendoDads shared some internal info suggesting that GameStop stores are expecting around 100 Switch 2 pre-orders per store. And people lost their minds. Only 100? That's not enough, was basically the chorus across the internet. You've also got Best Buy, Walmart, Target, Amazon, and even the My Nintendo store, if you don't mind waiting on shipping. Now here's another angle people aren't talking about enough. Software. Apparently, GameStop for launch titles is looking a little thin. Not a ton of physical copies going around, at least compared to the hardware numbers. Why? Well, this is just a theory, but it seems like Nintendo's nudging people toward digital this gen. Whether it's digital-only releases or game cards that still need downloads, it's becoming clear. The future is digital. So if you're old school and love collecting those physical boxes, you might want to act fast. The quantities might be lower than usual. So, should you panic? Should you be camping out in front of GameStop like it's Black Friday 2004? Honestly, no. Nintendo knows the pressure they're under. They want to get as many units as possible into the US and Canada during this tariff-free window. That's why you're seeing those 100-unit drops per store. They're not holding back, they're pushing stock hard. Yeah, it might still sell out quickly, That's just how it is with launches. But if you're fast, you will have a shot. So there it is. April 23rd might finally be the day. Pre-orders could be going live in Canada and likely the US too. GameStop's got units coming. Nintendo's navigating the tariff minefield like a pro. It's happening. Question is, are you ready? No, seriously. Are you ready to jump in day one? Let me know in the comments. Are you planning to pre-order? Are you going physical or digital this gen? And what launch game are you grabbing first? As always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a like, sub to the channel if you're new, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next update. I've got more coverage coming as we get closer to launch. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.